I don't know, y'all. I'm so confused. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mindy and I am on a mission to lose 200 pounds. Today, I want to give you guys an update on my hair loss. A lot of you have been asking about my hair lately, so I figured it was time to give you a bit of an update. Before we get into my hair update, I did want to give you guys a little bit of an update. I know last week the video was pretty intense. A lot of you have been asking about the land situation and trying to understand exactly what's happening there because it has been going on for so long. It's hard to see that anything had changed. What kind of triggered a lot of the emotions around the land was finding out that we could have been making steps and progress in the lawsuit finally over the last several months, but we hadn't been given the information we needed to know that that was possible due to a lack of communication. And there were several factors that contributed to that, but last week I had several conversations with our lawyer. We're trying to pursue mediation because we really would rather not have to go through the hassle of going to court and all of that. If you guys missed last week's video and you don't know what I'm talking about, feel free to check it out here because I don't want to go over the whole thing again. We found out that there's a good chance that we've already received the documents that we need in order to make the land legal. We just need confirmation from them that those are the final documents because we received them before all of the physical infrastructure had been put into place, which is why we never proceeded with them. Once we've confirmed that those are the documents we need, we can have a contract lawyer look at them, sign them, and then try to pursue figuring out what's going on with all of the other owners out there, signing them and getting them submitted so that that land can be deemed legal and we can finally sell it and move away from that so that we won't be paying a land loan anymore. We won't have to keep paying property taxes every year, and we'll still have the lawsuit to deal with, but that's kind of a separate issue and not something that we need to resolve in order to kind of move on and make other plans. Thank you so much to all of you who have so kindly reached out and offered prayers and your support and everything. It means to the world to me. I appreciate you guys so very much. So I just wanted to make sure I gave you an update about that. Also, I got the progesterone results back, and if I truly was at the place in my cycle where we thought I was, then my progesterone is not only low, it's like bargain basement low. My estrogen is still very high, so that's a little odd. So we're kind of skeptical that my cycle was actually where it was. There's also, I learned from my dietitian yesterday, I didn't know this, that you can still be having your cycle and not actually ovulate. So if I didn't ovulate, my progesterone never would have risen again, even though I had my cycle and even though I had other signs that made me feel like that was a thing. Apparently, you don't always ovulate. So anyway, don't know if you knew that, but the more you know. So I'm looking at some more accurate, detailed ways to look into my hormones. I know that there are several companies and programs out there that do more detailed month-long hormonal testing. My psychiatrist mentioned to me Mira, which is apparently a machine with test strips. So you test every single day, and that gives you a more accurate look of what your hormones are doing on a full monthly basis. Because my DHEA and testosterone are also completely out of whack, it would really be a good idea, I feel like, to get a better understanding of what my overall hormonal picture looks like, because according to the rest of my blood work, I'm nowhere near menopause. Women in my family do go into Women in my family do tend to go into menopause very late in life. My sister is almost 7 years older than me and she is still not in menopause. My mom was in her 50s before she went into menopause. So who the heck knows? I don't know how long perimenopause lasts, but maybe that's the thing. I don't know. I don't know, y'all. I'm so confused. So the hormone thing is going to be an ongoing thing and I will keep you guys updated. I turned in the cortisol test yesterday. As I looked into the reason that doctors most often order this type of cortisol testing that I did, where I do 4 different samples throughout the day, it's most often used to diagnose chronic fatigue syndrome or Cushing's. And as I started looking into Cushing's, like all of the symptoms are things that I experience. That doesn't necessarily mean that I definitely have Cushing's. I really hope I don't, because there's really no way to treat it other than lifestyle management and stress management and symptoms. We'll see what happens with that. Also met with my psychiatrist yesterday. The Vyvanse that they prescribed me for my ADHD, when I have seen other people talk about getting on meds to regulate their ADHD, they've almost all described it like the heavens opened and the angels were singing, and it's like all of a sudden their brain just worked the way that it was supposed to. And I never felt that way the entire time I was on Vyvanse. We went from 10 to 20 to 30, and then I tried taking 40 milligram, but it just made me really tired, which I've been told means that it's too high of a dose, because that's apparently what happens with people on ADHD. When you take too much stimulant, it makes you sleepy. So my psychiatrist sent in a prescription yesterday for Concerta, and I picked that up. My Wegovy was also ready to pick up, so I grabbed that, the 0.25 milligram. We're going to start at the bottom. Now we're here. I still don't know exactly when I'm going to start that, because I do remember when I started Wegovy in the beginning, I had a lot of fatigue and headaches. And with Christmas being next week, I am in charge of a lot of things, and I don't think I want to deal with that next week. I'm probably going to start it the week after, or maybe immediately after New Year's. I'm still figuring that out. I took the Concerta this morning. I don't know that I feel much different. I do feel like I have more energy, which it's a stimulant, so hello. I'm sure it's a cumulative effect, so we're just going to have to wait and see what happens. I will keep you guys updated, as with everything. Okay, so now that we're up to speed on everything else, let's talk about my hair. First, I want to address, I do not believe that GLP medications caused my hair to fall out. I am in the school of thought that hair loss is a result of weight loss. It's a common side effect of rapid weight loss in general. And in my first 6 months on Wegovy, I lost 65 pounds, and I was not focusing on my protein intake. So I did lose quite a bit of hair. My hair has always been very fine, and it's been getting very thin over the last probably 10 years or so. But it was getting significantly thinner in the first year or so of me being on GLP medications, as I was losing significant amounts of weight. When I noticed that my hair was getting really, really thin, and it felt like it was getting thinner than usual, that was about the time that I started really focusing on my protein intake. I do have this video here where I talk about starting to take care of my hair. That was it's been at least 2 to 3 years ago, y'all. It's been a while. That was when I started cutting my hair shorter, because the longer your hair is, the more weight there is, the more likely it is it's gonna fall out. It also looks like just lifeless and not cute. So I feel like my haircut made a big difference in terms of how my hair looks. I, in the beginning, was doing a lot more. I was trying serums, I was doing lots of different kinds of supplements and things like that. But I've really narrowed that down and am not doing that much anymore for my hair. The biggest difference in my hair was focusing on my protein intake. I try to get at least 20 to 30% of my calories daily from protein. About a year ago, I'll try to put the date on the screen when exactly I first ordered it, I started taking collagen. I was previously taking a different supplement that I thought had collagen in it, but it did not. It had biotin in it and several other things that have been known to help with hair growth. I don't know that I feel like that particular supplement made a big difference, but after adding all the protein, and then most recently adding this collagen supplement, that's where I feel like I started to see the biggest difference in the amount of hair growth that I was seeing. Like, my hair is growing faster. I feel like it's getting fuller. I will show you guys some side-by-side comparison pictures. This was back when I very, very first started taking care of my hair and paying attention to my hair. And this is today. couple of months ago, I was able to pull my hair back into a ponytail, and it is the thickest ponytail that I have had in years. My hair is still very, very fine. It will always be fine. It is still very thin. I can still see my scalp. I feel like my hair is thicker now than it was before I started GLP medications to begin with. One of the other big differences is how I style and how I take care of my hair. I only wash my hair twice a week. I try to use as little heat as possible on my hair. After I get out of the shower, I let it air dry as much as I possibly can because my hair is very fine. It doesn't take long for it to dry on its own. But if I do need to blow dry it, I blow dry it on the lowest possible heat setting, and I will alternate between that low heat setting and cold on, like the cold air setting on my blow dryer. I got this Wavy Talk curling flat iron. It's like a round brush, but it has an ionized flat iron on the inside. So I just use that, and it makes my hair very smooth, very shiny, very soft, very happy. It literally takes me 5 minutes to do my hair, maybe less. Highly recommend that thing. I do have a greasy scalp even after cutting back to only washing twice a week, and I've only been washing twice a week for, I mean, probably since before I was on GLP medications. It's been a very long time. They say that your oil production will decrease as you wash your hair less. Well, I'm just a greasy girl, apparently, on my scalp anyway. The rest of my body, not so much, but I just have an oily scalp. I do use dry shampoo in between washes. It smells so good. It's like a mango and orange scent. So it smells real good. And I just load it up in my hair. Like I spray it all up in there. And then I use my little silicone nubbin guy to massage it into my scalp. I brush it through, and then if I'm wearing it down, I'll use my little Wavy Talk wand to refresh my curls a little bit. It takes like less than 2 minutes, or I'll pull it up into like a half up, half down situation. Once it's too greasy to be cute, I will put it in my pigtails. I will link all of the products that I use. If you guys are interested in that, feel free to check it out down below. I hope you guys have a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday, however it is you celebrate or don't. I just love you guys. And I appreciate you for being here with me through all of this. And hopefully we all have much happier updates coming in the near future. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.